Hello YouTube, and hello everybody else. I'm making this video, and I hope to get consensus from others and at least take notice in this video and what it really just kind of boils down to mean. My race is indigenous to North America, Central America, and South America. That's my race. Now, not any different than the South American Indian. The Native Americans that live in South, in the Americas, in the South Americas, and in the Central Americas. Now, they are all Indians, and they're indigenous to the continent. Now, I agree that over generations and a long time, I guess everybody says 500 years ago, you know, in the 1492 era, is where people can start bitching about it. Well, I'm not bitching about it. I'm coming and out here and I'm trying to get the point across that my race comes from North America, Canada, America, United States, Mexico, all Central American countries, Guatemala, all those, Honduras, Chile, you know, the one that just had the earthquake. They're indigenous to these continents. We are one race. We are, and the race has spanned across two continents. Now, if you were to look at it from just basic knowledge that Europeans come from Europe, they're Anglo, as their race is the white race, is what everybody calls it in America, in the United States. Then you have China, and that's Asians. Now, these races have particular features. Now, the white race is very, it varies in the white race. They're the only ones that stick out like a sore thumb because they have red hairs with freckles, the gingers. They have the different types of whites. Now, I'm not trying to diss on them. I'm not trying to say anything bad about this. Now, Africa is the African continent, which the Africans come from. They're black, okay, or Lusa is what in Choctaw, how do you say it? Natugusa, the black people. Then you have the Asian people. Now you can tell the races of these people by their hair, their color, the texture of their skin. You can tell the color of their eyes. Now, my eyes are brown, and my hair is black, and my complexion is not of Anglo descent. So my race is from this continent. Asians are from Asia, and they have a distinct difference than me in my race. There is no distinct differences from Canada to the bottom of South America. It was all one race. Now it's jumbled up. There are multi-cultures in 1492, and the globe, you know, everybody went everywhere eventually. Now, 2011, everybody's gone everywhere, and there's these people here, and hey, there's the dude over there, and hey, look, there's another kind of guy over there, and hey, look, there's even another dude that looks kind of like me, and he's from the Middle East. So, the different races, okay, the whites, when they get closer to the blacks' border, there will be intermingling of that race and would make an a half white person, a half black, and would maybe create that type of race over a period of time. And there we have, in between Europe and Africa, the Middle Easterns, you know, like the Egyptians, and all the way up in between Asia, because they're East Asia, or anyway. So we know that everybody's mingled up now, and everybody goes everywhere, and they're free to do as they please. If a person from Africa wants to come to South America and marry, they can do so, and they can do so in large quantities if it's what they believe. They want to do it. It don't really matter. This is not a hate speech or anything. This is just what happens. In this world, you know, people intermingle. And eventually when they stop hating and killing each other, they can learn to love each other just because we're human. So, for La Raza, La Raza is the race. Yes, it means the race. La, the, and Raza, race. Yes, it does mean so. Their point is to educate people, because a lot of the people in Central America and South America are not as educated as North America and Europe. Europe and United States are pretty educated, and the Canadians are pretty educated. Well, that's what they're doing, and it's a movement in their part. Whether somebody gets on the bandwagon and goes with it and goes one way or another is strictly up to individual people, which can group together. And well, anyway, I just made this video because I wanted to get it out there, let it be known, and anybody who wants to say they look upon this video negatively, just understand I'm making this video as a point. My race is indigenous to this continent. It is. La Raza, the race of the Native Americans, are indigenous to two continents, including the Central Americas and South Americas, is our race. There is no difference between the races, or the countries, in sense of a race. So I hope I hadn't been too dumb about this, just trying to explain the scenario of race. Old English thing, war, divide and conquer. Yep, it happened. But we was already divided amongst ourselves anyway, in tribes. You know, it was easy. We was already divided. And my feelings and opinions on what's happening in the world makes no difference, really. I don't expect it to be suddenly changed because I feel that way. Would I like to see it my way? Of course, anybody would like to say that to themselves. I like to see it my way, and I hope to see you have your way, and I hope to see you have your way. And will humans get along? Well, that's up to the individual people if they want to get along or not. If there's people out here who wants to fight, then there's going to be fights. And if there's people who out there who just want to be nice and spread the word of, hello, how you doing? I'm a human being. I live on the planet Earth. I'm indigenous from this side of the world. How are you doing? It doesn't matter who owns what, because in kind of retrospect to this, we didn't believe in ownership of land. The Native Americans don't believe in ownership of land. It's not ours to own. You have there we go. I don't want to say it like that. People have gone and said I'm not claiming anybody on YouTube has said this, but there's ownership. But we don't believe in ownership. It's not even there. It's not even a word. It doesn't exist. What's ownership? The earth, you can't own that. Nothing. You can't own it. You say you can own it. It's mine, 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 mine. We shared everything. You know, so history books and what we're taught about things don't actually tell the truth 100%. You really don't get a real good idea. But you wouldn't know what it was like to be black, and you wouldn't know what it's like to be white, and you wouldn't know what it's like to be Native American, and you wouldn't know what it's like to be Chinese if you're not. You know, this thing of race, it needs to drop. It really does. Because when somebody says this is our race, there must be a consensus that says, yes, there's a race. These people are a race which has indigenous to 2 continents. And Europeans came over here and just said, hey, y'all need to have 1 continent, and then we can put everybody on the same continent. And then we can be together and learn what each other know. And this is where we are in the year 2011. How much do you know? How much do you know? It doesn't go on opinions. It's reality, not facts as you read. You could never understand what a Chinaman says. You never can understand what a white person says. You can't understand what an African man says. When he says what it feels like to be him. You have to be that to understand that. And I only made this video because of this La Raza. And yeah, you know what? You need to go to a reservation with pale skin, not as dark and brown. You need to go when you don't have the black hair and the brown eyes. You need to go there. You need to go there and see if they treat you like one of their own. Are you kin to someone there on a reservation? Are you kin to somebody in Mexico? And to all the fellow human beings out there,